Hello everyone, today we are going to be talking about environmental justice. What is environmental justice? Environmental justice is a social movement focused on creating a healthy and clean environment and to mitigate the harms of degradation, especially for both low-income communities and communities of color. So, why care? This planet is your home. And you share it with approximately 8.2 billion people and 8.7 to 10 million different species. So, why should you care? The world is not only your home, but the home of so many other people and creatures. Environmental justice is necessary to ensure that people are not mistreated or harmed because of climate or environmental issues. Let us begin by looking into some environmental justice issues. The first issue we will discuss are health disparities. Health disparities of the environment are most often seen in urban minority communities, who have the most exposure to pollution and other contaminants. Environmental issues can cause long-term health and safety problems, such as chronic illness and asthma. Let's look at the example of Flint, Michigan. Flint, Michigan is a primarily low-income Black community that was subjected to lead-contaminated drinking water in 2014. The lack of clean water continued for over a year, highlighting the environmental injustice that took place. Let's look at water contamination impacts in Flint, Michigan. This graph shows a drop-off in the average number of births in Flint during the years of lead contamination compared to other cities in the state. This highlights that lead in the water can impact fertility and birth outcomes. What happened in Flint, Michigan left lasting impacts on the community, who even now, 10 years later, still suffer from the damages of lead-contaminated water. Why do health disparities matter? When looking at environmental justice, we have to note how structural vulnerability, systemic racism, and socioeconomic stressors play a role in which communities struggle most with negative impacts of environmental degradation. You may ask, what do you do to stop health disparities? One thing you can do is push for policy change to mitigate these issues or uplift the voices of those most impacted. Why? Without intervention, minority communities continue to suffer like those in Flint, Michigan. Let's look now to our second issue regarding environmental justice, climate change. Climate change has numerous environmental and public health impacts such as increased floods, droughts, heat waves, forest fires, food shortages, and infectious diseases. The next question you may ask is, who does climate change impact? The answer to that is everyone. Climate change impacts humans, animals, plants, and general biodiversity. Climate change impacts all of us, making it an issue that should be on the forefront of our minds. You may want to know why climate change matters. Climate change impacts all people, but low-income countries and communities face disproportionate harm from climate change. If climate change is ignored, a myriad of problems will arise that impact human life, such as drought, floods, and food shortage. Before we look at solutions, let's define a carbon footprint. A carbon footprint is the total amount of greenhouse emissions created by an individual, and guess what? We all have one. Now, what can be done? First, take collective responsibility and realize the role humans have played in environmental harm. Second, be more climate-friendly in day-to-day life to reduce personal carbon footprint. And third, campaign for policy changes. The people have the power to make their voices heard. Why does environmental justice matter? We are all inhabitants of Earth, living alongside other humans, animals, and plants. The environment provides us with all the necessary equipment for survival, so in turn, we must protect it for ourselves, for those we share it with, and those who will come after us. How do we move forward with environmental justice? We hold representatives accountable and advocate for policies that address disparities surrounding environmental injustices, while also transitioning to clean energy alternatives, focusing on education, awareness, and social movements to enact change, and by lowering personal carbon footprint. The Lorax said, unless someone like you cares a whole awful lot, nothing's going to get better. It's not. Thank you. Let's help uphold environmental justice for all.